What's it gonna be? What's up, guys? We got another Tony Khan special, big, mega huge announcement that is supposedly going to change professional wrestling tonight. Welcome to your AEW Dynamite watch along for March 2nd. It's already March. What the hell? 2022. And tonight, of course, is centered around what appears to be an actual announcement this time by Tony Khan. He's teased us with a couple of these already, one last month that, he never really even came out and personally did. Apparently tonight, whatever the announcement is, will in fact be announced by Tony Khan himself. So it sounds like it's a big deal. A lot of rumors surrounding AEW striking a deal with HBO Max. Also, AEW possibly purchasing Ring of Honor. Also, possibly a New Japan Super Show could be the big announcement. But the announcement that I think it is that Hook is going to leave professional wrestling and begin his porn career. And I think Tony Khan's going to come out and break the news to a lot of us extremely disappointed and heartbroken fans that Hook is going to be leaving us. But I'm sure many of us will follow him into his next chapter in life. So that's what I'm expecting from Tony Khan tonight, but we shall wait and see. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Hello to everybody who's here in the chat. Big Bang Theory is wrapping up, and it's time for Dynamite. I need to shut my own mic off so I'm not listening to myself. I'd rather listen to wrestling than me. Here we go. All right, Bing Bang is all done, and it's rock and roll time. I'm going to try to say hi to the chat here real quick. Janine, Lil Justin, WWE fan, Marcus, AC, C4, Sam, Mohammed, Chaz, Rodrigo, Zane G, what's up? Jay Lambo, David Brown, nice to Sean, Junior, Yachiro, Michael Cuomo, Marcus. Good little handful of us in here already. I'm excited. I feel like this one won't be a false flag like some of the other ones were. We thought we were supposed to get some announcement last week. We didn't get shit, so we'll see. Oh, Tony Khan is going to start the show. Okay, I haven't been on social media in a while here, in a few minutes, so. Mike, I wouldn't be a... Oh, here's Tony Khan. Well, we got to listen right now. So I can't talk right now. We got to hear this. I think an HBO Max deal is not something I'd announce on TV, but it might be. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's right. They're in Daly's place. I forgot. He's such a weirdo, isn't he? Oh, shout out to Xenia. I like how weird he is. I think that's good. I think we need that.
Tonight is a big night. We're going to have a big week. This is the biggest week in the history of this company. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the road to Revolution.
I thought he was going to say WrestleMania. He said it's going to be the biggest week in company history. What is this? I'm not looking at the chat in case he's already said it. It was out in that parking lot.
A lot of you were here at the very beginning, out there. At the very beginning. Well, it was about 17 years before that, another wrestling company started. A wrestling company known as ROH.
Okay, it is Ring of Honor. Hells yeah. I'm so happy that intellectual property and tape libraries are starting to land other places in the WWE. That makes me feel really good. Now when WWE needs some of that Ring of Honor footage, guess who they got to call? Christopher Daniels.
He's a Ring of Honor original. He's been at the start of both companies. And the man he wrestled, neither one of them won that night in the main event. And it's been eating both of them up for 20 years. The man he wrestled is here tonight. And it's the man who's going to wrestle Jon Moxley at Revolution for the first time ever in Daly
Oh, this is Danielson's first night in Daly's place, huh? Well, I'm glad that they purchased that because I was really worried about the future of the company. They have a ton of history, and there's so many big mega players that are in the business right now that all got their start there. And there's so much history there in terms of today's generation of wrestlers. Ring of Honor is a big part of that, and I think, not that WWE would have done nothing with them if they would have purchased, the shit that they have, the property, but, AEW can do a lot with that, and it's going to be fun. Oh, Daniel's nice. Daniels and fucking Danielson. I like it. All right, I'll go back to the chat now. No, Shane. I was not thinking this was going to be Shane McMahon. And no, I did not think that. I don't know. I'm surprised that name's come up. I haven't even heard that name brought up today. I don't think Shane was on anybody's radar. I think this was mostly either Ring of Honor or HBO Max or New Japan or something like that. So, well, that's great just because of the mileage they can get out of that, I think, considering how many, Ring of Honor talents are in the company. I mean, WWE had a shitload for a time, and they have used Ring of Honor footage and stuff in documentaries like the CM Punk one and probably the Danielson one and a lot of other ones too. I'm glad that there's just one piece of wrestling property out there that Vince McMahon doesn't own, and that if he needs, he's going to have to call in a favor or something, and I think that's good for wrestling to spread it out a little bit. Because when WWE owns all this stuff, I mean, what can they really do with it other than network specials and stuff like that? And that's great and everything, but, it stays largely forgotten or dormant. And here it just feels like there's so many more possibilities. And I think people who are big Ring of Honor fans, I was only a moderate Ring of Honor fan, so I only have a limited knowledge of them as it is. But there are Ring of Honor super fans out there I know that are going to love this. Yeah, the shape Daniels is in. Was he 52, 53? I think he's a touch older or the same age as Jericho. Much better shape and much more athletic still at this age. For those just joining and might not know what Tony Khan's huge announcement was, he came out and opened the show with Tony Schiavone right in the ring and said that he purchased Ring of Honor, and he's kicking off tonight with a couple of Ring of Honor legends and Daniels and Danielson, and this is great. You can do so much stuff. Not only does AEW now have a lot more footage they can use for their type of documentaries, possibly DVDs, HBO Max specials, shit like that. They can also resurrect some stuff from Ring of Honor, tag team partners, feuds, angles, whatever. I'll tell you who I really want to get in there now is Samoa Joe more than anything. I heard rumblings of him possibly heading back to the Fed after being fired 3 times, but I mean, now I'd love to really see him come in some capacity in AEW. Him and Punk again or something like that would be awesome. And you got to get Cesaro in there, right? I think that could really increase the likelihood of Claudio coming in. Yeah, Rich, you bring up a good point, too. If there's going to be some sort of AEW streaming service, I mean, they're only a 2.5-year-old company, less than that. So in terms of the past shows that you can go back and watch, you don't have a lot to choose from. A bunch of Dynamites and a few pay-per-views. But if you had the Ring of Honor library into that, I mean, hell, I'd see what else. If there's anything, I don't even know. I haven't looked this up in so long. But from what I understood, there were very, very few tape libraries left that WWE was yet to acquire. But if there's anything out there, if I was Tony Khan, I'd try to acquire it. Just anything that you can. You're trying to build your company, and you want to be able to have stuff you can use in your own material and your own content. And when WWE's got so much of it cornered, I mean, they got all of WCW and ECW and their own history that they can use and draw back to. Yeah, exactly, C4. They just bought themselves 17 years of wrestling history. And that's something you need if you're only 28 months old or whatever they are. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm sure if that HBO Max deal, as many people are talking about, has probably already been discussed or maybe even hammered out. I'm sure the Ring of Honor stuff was a big factor in that. I mean, if I was Tony, I mean, I don't know why I forgot to mention Impact or TNA, but I would do whatever I could to buy them too, just so you can have their. Imagine if AEW was able to possess their own footage, Ring of Honor footage, and all of TNA's footage. That would balance the scales a bit. I mean, in terms of modern times, I mean, WCW and WWE and ECW, you know, still, and NWA, mostly made and built wrestling. But, you know, the second generation, the new millennium stuff, you know, when TNA came around and Ring of Honor and all that, if Tony Khan could try to be like the 2000s and later Vince McMahon, you know, wrestling could have a long lifespan, man. I miss seeing, like, the fans in Daly's Place. I always liked the venue. Like, prior to the pandemic, I'm like, it looks so cool. I like the way it looks, but then the pandemic fucked everything up. Thank you for that $2, C-Mac. Happy Elite Wednesday to you, man. Gotta love Wednesdays. That's one of my favorite things about Dynamite is that I just prefer wrestling shows where something happens. How many, you know, we sit through hours of Raw and SmackDown and it's just nothing. They literally just give us nothing. Raw on Monday wasn't bad, but largely it's nothing. It's just repetitive, meaningless matches or segments or just dumb shit. At least you can watch on Wednesdays and know you're not going to see formulaic bullshit, and you're likely to see the opposite. These shows don't feel the same. They don't have the same vibe. A lot of them have different looks. You know, the cards are promoted uniquely and differently from week to week. A lot of times you have title matches main eventing these things. They're, you know, little miniature pay-per-views almost in a lot of ways. Some are great, some aren't so great. But all in all, I'd say I've enjoyed 80% of the Dynamites I've watched since Dynamite's been around. Maybe 75%, but that's the lowest I'm going. What's up, Ungovernable? Good to see you. Also, Daniel and Howard and Trekopedia and Alex and Jonathan. Nice to see y'all. Smash that thumbs up button for me if you don't mind. there's a subscribe button below the screen here. If you've never hit it before, hit it. Oh, yeah, Nia Jax will be in CYN in no time. She is tailor-made for them. She is so horrible. I got a good little contest here with Danielson and Daniels. Nice roll through on the crossbody. To be honest, I don't know how many encounters these guys have had before. I know they're not strangers, but... Yes, C-Mac. Tony Khan has purchased Ring of Honor. There's been rumors of that ever since they shut down last year. And I don't know what that means for that in terms of, all the people currently under contract. Our friend Brian Zane has been working with them for quite a while. I should hit him up, find out what his deal is. I'm hoping the best for him and anybody else who's there. It's just going to be nice to see all the Ring of Honor references now, on AEW with all these guys, especially with guys like Danielson and Punk. I did see the deal extended with A&E, which is good because those pieces on A&E that they did were great. So if we're getting more of those, no problem. No complaints from Greg. Who would win in a fight, Billy Corgan or Tony Khan? Honestly, I don't know. It might be I think Corgan's bigger. He seems like tall, so he's got some reach, some leverage on him. Oh, big right hand. Jeez. Yeah, well, before AEW came around, for those who've been listening to me for years, I mean, how many times did I say on podcast, oh, wow, he countered the Hurricane Rana by just shoving him off. That was actually quite cool. But I always said, Vince is never going to have an equal. Vince is never going to have a competitor, and no wrestling company is even going to make a dent in the monopoly that WWE has unless... Oh, nice. Wow, let's second counter the moonsault into the Dragon Sleeper. That's great. That was awesome. That's 2 counters to Danielson's moonsault to Daniel's moonsault that Danielson pulled off in a matter of seconds there. But I always said it would take a Mark Cuban or somebody just with an obscene amount of money, and that is ball game, and who's willing to spend an obscene amount of money on making, because you're going to have to lose a whole bunch of money at first if you want to have anything that's going to even closely compete with Vince. I mean, that's a given. So you have to have somebody that's willing to spend that. And apparently the Khans are those people. And Tony Khan is sparing no expense. This is why you have to be financially backed. I think TNA could have been great if it had somebody like Tony Khan or a Mark Cuban backing it. But it was such a jumbled up mess internally. It was never destined to be anything. But this is a whole different story. Look at this. Someone here Danielson has to say about Ring of Honor.
Since the first Ring of Honor show, Christopher Daniels and I were in the main event.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And at that time, we started matches with a handshake, and we ended matches with a handshake.
I didn't live in that area of the country, but if I did, I would have loved to go to a Ring of Honor show. Some of those classics. He raises his hand when he's laying down. I think he's going to start stomping him or something. I don't trust this at all. Danielson's going to... There we go. I was about to say. He's not in Ring of Honor. Shit, I'd bring out Cesaro right now, man. I'd bring him out right now, attack Daniel Bryan, or join him, one or the other. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait to hear the reports on the details of this deal.
The head that's going to be stomped in is yours.
Oh, Moxley. Okay.
Now what do you got to say? Well, you knew damn well this would not go unanswered. And you know the crowd's going to be behind. In Orlando Sunday night.
Nia Jax is the first person to get CTE from giving other people concussions. Holy crap, that's great. Oh, thank you for the follow, Raj Giri. It's about time. Been following him forever. Nice. Yeah, this match is set, too. The only thing, I love John Moxley. The only thing I don't love about him is the shoulder thing. I don't get it. I don't. Why is he doing that? Like, it's weird. I would never do that in any situation. So that's the only thing I don't like about his personality.
I can see that the American Dragon Bryan Danielson is better than ever. And I can see that Bryan Danielson
Fucking Mox.
than ever. But you got it wrong, my friend. There is two paths I can walk right now. I'm at what they call a crossroads. And which path I take will determine my future.
Crossroads.
See, you think I'm gonna end up walking this path. Down this path, I get my head kicked in on Sunday. And I fade into oblivion, never to be heard from again.
Fade into oblivion? You won't fade into oblivion.
But that ain't what's gonna happen. That ain't what's gonna happen by a long shot. I choose to walk another path. Through sheer force of will, refusal to die, I will walk this path through fire, through bullets, and through you.
Oh, okay.
Because at the end of this path is something that looked impossible not too long ago. At the end of this path, I beat the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
I mean, I still don't know where it's going to lead after the match happens.
Story of John Moxley is just starting. It's just beginning. And I write the first chapter on Sunday, a chapter that's going to be written in blood. Hey, since you want to come out here talking about what you're going to do to me, how you're going to kick my head in, talking about what you're going to do to me, there's like 1 million people watching on TV, Brian. There's thousands of people here right now. You want to prove me wrong? You want to prove me wrong? Take your shot.
So Moxley just wants to go right now.
Man, you can feel the tension in the air. So every fan here.
Well, Danielson's going to powder out. He's not going to do this. He's not just going to attack.
Sunday, these two men.
No, he's dropping the mic. No way. You know Danielson's going to bail out here. How dumb do you think he is? Yeah, of course. Of course. Deshaun, appreciate that $2. When AEW comes to LA, tell Tony to make you GM of Ring of Honor. I don't know. Is he going to be... How are they doing this? That's what we got to wait and see. Like, is he relaunching Ring of Honor as a second promotion? Or... I think that's what he's doing. Or unless it's going to absorb like WCW did WWE. I don't know. But yeah, I'm assuming he'll keep it going. Now they're very well financially backed, and that's awesome.
Indefinite suspensions for anyone who would try to get involved in the match, the triple threat match. I'm not worried. It's no bother.
What's
to
up,
me.
Stinger?
Darby, is it any bother to you?
Darby, how much longer you work for Sting?
Anybody's help when I won the TNT Championship in the first place, and I'm not going to need anybody's help Friday. Sammy, no matter what happens on Friday.
Oh, I didn't know we're running that back. Sammy and Darby on Friday?
Me and Sting to take on
Okay.
Andrade and Isaiah. And we're gonna do what we
Oh, wait,
always do,
no.
baby. Steal the show 'cause ain't nobody getting more psychotic than
Oh,
us.
they're teaming. Okay, I got it. I got it.
But after Rampage, TNT Championship.
Oh, third show for you, huh, JCS? I'm excited for them finally coming out here. I'll be at Double or Nothing. Tickets go on sale this weekend, so I'm going to pick those up. And then the Dynamite after Double or Nothing is in L.A. at the Forum. So I'm going to go there. It's kind of cool. I've never actually been to the Forum before, so it'll be cool to be in that building for the first time since there's a whole lot of NBA history in that building. Specifically, my Pistons winning the title there in like '89. So finally excited to go to an AEW show out here. There's a Rampage in Ontario, California that Friday, but I'm not going to bother with that one. But I'm going to go to Vegas for Double or Nothing and Wednesday Dynamite. Yeah, I think this will be a good time now, even for me to go back and start looking at more Ring of Honor stuff, and more footage. All I've ever looked at is the stuff I've felt like, looking up or searching on YouTube or whatever, and some really, really good matches here and there, but I'm not seasoned in my Ring of Honor knowledge. I've got pretty basic knowledge of it. Can name a few champions and stuff, but in terms of timelines and storylines, I ain't the guy to ask for shit regarding Ring of Honor. I don't know if we're going to get the Wardlow turn on Sunday. I think they're kind of really changing things up with Punk and MJF now. I'd love to see a double turn. I think it could actually work with the two guys in there. MJF is, going to be a huge babyface one day. He's kind of got that same type of heel reputation that The Rock had in the Nation, to where he was a douchebag, but, man, you couldn't deny that he had something. And Punk, I think Punk, as much as everybody was happy to see him back and stuff, I don't think it would be very hard to get the audience to turn on him. So I think they've set themselves up for a hell of a twist. And then you could even throw Wardlow into that mix and maybe do like a quadruple turn. Like if MJF turns babyface on Punk and they do that somewhere in the match, and then Wardlow turns babyface with MJF, only to turn back heel like 5 minutes later and then cost MJF the match and align with Punk. And then he's a heel, but he's a heel that's going to have, he's going to believe what he's doing is right, because he was abused basically by MJF for the past couple of years with all the stuff in the contract. So he's going to feel completely justified for screwing over that little prick. And Punk and Wardlow probably won't view themselves as heels at all, but they will be. So yeah, MJF babyface. We've seen this happen lots of times. Some of the biggest babyfaces get over as heels first. The Rock always knew how to speak, but if he's out there talking babyface shit, it's boring. You put a heel mic, you give him a mic and you tell him to heel up, and he can insult and get better and, and learn what works with the crowd and how to get a reaction out of that, and they'll gain respect for you. When The Rock turned babyface a couple of times, he turned babyface in late 98 only to turn back heel again at the Survivor Series, but then right after WrestleMania 15 in 99, he turned babyface again, and fans were just waiting for it. We were ready to cheer for him. He was basically already a babyface by the time he got to that point, even though he was in the corporation and aligned with Vince and constantly insulted the fans. He was too good not to love. And I think they have something similar in MJF. MJF's not going to go on, I don't believe, to become the biggest movie star of all time or anything like that, but he has that similar vibe from the fans, and I know that because I lived through it. I lived through that shit with The Rock, and we feel the same way about MJF that we did about The Rock when he was in the Nation. Exact same. So that's why I think a double turn and an MJF babyface run would work. Top Flight's back? Right on. It's about time. Got to improve on that 5-4 record there, fellas. Oh, good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for being here. K-Dog's Kennel, thanks for the $5. Slowly being weaned off crutches. Great to see you live as always. Hope all is well with Bub. Happy to hear you're off the crutches, man, or being weaned off the crutches. And it sounds like you're healing up. That's great news, because I'm sure that's not fun to be limited in your mobility. I've been lucky. I've never broke a leg or anything, or a foot, so I broke toes. I've actually have broken toes, which did suck. But never a foot or a leg or an ankle or anything like that. So thinking about you, man. Bub, I can't say enough amazing things about the guy. He's made a complete turnaround. He's as close to normal as he's been since November. He even walked downstairs today, went up down the stairs. He's eating. He's all roided up. So he's regained his strength, basically. He was I was expecting him to already be passed away by this point. I was expecting to be in my second week of being without him, and he's as strong as ever. So it's still temporary. It ain't going to last. You know, he is going to pass away, but this has bought me time, and it's really awesome because he really seems like back to his old self. He comes up and he jumps up here. He sits in my lap. This is all shit he wasn't doing since, like, Thanksgiving. And all of a sudden, he's back to his old self. It's just really awesome. But that's what roids do. I love that I have no idea what I'm watching here. Oh, good, the Acclaimed. So this is some sort of tag team thing, and the winner gets something. Okay. Yeah, I mean, at the end, it's not a solution. He's not recovered, and he's or anything like that. He's just better. And I think when everything does end, I'm going to be really happy I had this time with him, because he wasn't himself before. If I would have put him down 2 weeks ago, I would have said goodbye to him when he really wasn't himself. You know, this gives us just time together. It would have been a sad ending. So now I'm going to look back on this time I have with him, however long it lasts, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months. I'm going to look back on it and appreciate it. That's for sure. But he isn't cured, and that's what sucks. I missed all of his rap there. I like the Acclaim. As I call them, David Otunga and Russell Wilson. Bowens is good, though. All these guys are good. Especially Dante. Oh, nice. Glad you finally busted out the Cobra Kai, Mike. I'm ready for Season 5, man. Should be out this year. Oh, these are only 90-second intervals? So what is this, a fucking battle royal like last week? Must be. Yeah, he doesn't appear to be suffering at all, because if he's suffering at all, I will not keep him around. But he's pretty awesome. Except I don't actually know where he is right now. And I need to find out. 1 second, okay? Wow. Well, more good news. I have, we're in the master bedroom here of this house. And through the bathroom around the corner here, there's a big, gigantic walk-in closet. And I have a bed set up for him in there that's like high on these storage bins. And it's just like lined with big, thick blankets. And he's been sleeping there since we've lived in this house. However, he's never jumped up there since today. Today's the first time he's jumped up there since like November. He hasn't been sleeping in there because it's been too high for him to jump up to. And he just likes kind of being out here. He's been sitting in one spot for the past 3 months. Normally, he has like 5 different spots he hangs out. But since he's been sick, he's just been sitting on the back of the couch, which I have a little bed set up for him, and he just looks out the window. That's all he does. So now he's starting to, so the fact that he's all the way back in the corner of the couch laying in his bed where he used to like to be is just incredible. All right, Blade and Butcher. Coming out to Butcher and Blade, people. My younger sister, I have 2 sisters. One's married. The other one isn't. I think it'd be cool if she brought home the Butcher one night and said, Mom, Dad, I'd like you to meet my boyfriend, the Butcher. They'd love that. Oh, yeah, Dark Order's got like 8 tag teams in there. Oh, I got to refresh my stream because Dynamite decided to not talk to me. It's one bad thing about using streaming apps is every now and then you got a little issue. Thank you for the Twitter follow, Marshmallow Johnson. And Green Arrow. Thank you for the follows. Oh, Pillman and Garrison. Brian Pillman Jr. today put a picture up on Twitter of himself saying he has the best hair in the business and his very own partner, Griff Garrison begged to differ with him, and I kind of think I agree with Griff. I mean, Pillman has got an exquisite mullet. I mean, mwah. But Garrison, it's tough to beat those locks. I think one day in the foreseeable future, we will see Okada in AEW ring. It just doesn't seem like a deal that wouldn't get done. So many benefit. But New Japan's weird. They're weird about everything. I recently finally dropped New Japan World after owning it for 3 or 4 years, whatever it was. Just got no more use for it. I don't like anything I hear about them, behind the scenes and internally and stuff, especially with a lot of the copyright shit that people deal with anything related to New Japan. I just turned me off to them, and they've declined a lot since the formation of AEW, So it was time to pull the plug. Oh, I didn't know Machio was on Dancing with the Stars, same season as Jericho. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't catch that. Did they mention HBO Max? Yeah, most people, I've seen all the reports all day that people internally in WWE, and AEW, and WWE believe that an HBO Max deal is on the way. That's good. It's probably already done. Maybe they're just waiting to announce it. But that's not really something. I mean, you could announce that on TV, but I wouldn't build a whole segment around that. That's something you can do on social media and then just promote the shit out of it on TV. You don't need to have a whole segment for that. What are those big guys called again? The Grizzly Gang or something? What are they called? Oh, Bear Country. Bear Country.
Can we have some space? Oh. Yeah, of course.
Switch to Progressive and you can save hundreds.
Fuck Progressive. That's what he said. You are less popular than Glenn Jacobs tweets. That's awesome. That's awesome. What a crazy week of news. You got Glenn Jacobs and Nia Jax being complete idiots, and that Cain Velasquez stuff was fucking nuts. I saw the initial story before I went to work, and I came home and I was screwing around late last night, and I was like, oh, I saw it like 7 hours late. I'm like, I didn't see that latest development and what was going on there. That's just nuts to me. What a weird week. That whole situation is just sad and unfortunate. Oh, there goes Bronson. Oh, the other one's gone. Yeah, let's have Proud and Powerful win this. Come on. I was rooting for them last week, and they lost. I feel like this should be their match to win here. I'm going Santana and Ortiz in this. It's either them or FTR. In terms of those names, Rodrigo, could definitely see Gargano and Hardy. Hardy any minute. I think the minute Jeff Hardy can get there, he's going to be there. Gargano would be fun. Harry Smith is doing some stuff with the NWA, I saw. I don't know what Kenny's up to these days. Probably killing people. Here comes the best friends. I got an itchy ass back. There we go. Oh, Keith, it was nothing. It's Glenn Jacobs' mayor account, and he was, I don't know, just bitching about left wing and being weak and all this dumb shit. Just completely, insensitive and fucking completely tone deaf to what the fuck is going on. And the funniest thing was that Adam Page, Hangman Page, responded to him with 2 links with 3 links. 2 of them were for charities to benefit, victims and families suffering through the entire Ukraine crisis. And the 3rd link was a video of Kane taking chair shots to the head in WWE. And Jacobs got the fuck ratioed out of him when Page's response got so much more traffic than the original tweet. It was pretty good. So a negative was turned into a positive, and that's always good. All right, here comes Stu and Evil Uno. And, yeah, Dark Order is heavily represented here. Yeah, well, Briscoes and FTR have been talking shit anyway, so that's going to be great. That'll happen. I mean, especially if they're going to try to launch Ring of Honor. I mean, that's just it's just going to be all week until we start gathering the details of this, but if Ring of Honor is going to be launched, they need to have a staff to do that. Like, Tony Khan can't be booking the storylines over there, you know what I mean? At least in my opinion. It's got to be hard enough and just a 24/7 job as it is for what he does in AEW. Taking on a whole nother promotion, you better delegate that shit out and put people in charge of that, or leave the people who are already there in charge. And I'm sure he's going to want to be hands-on, you know, somewhat, but don't take your eye off the ball. That's always been my opinion. I used to work for a restaurateur back in North Carolina, and he was just really successful and knew what he was doing. He would always like to open new restaurants, with completely new concepts and new menus. And he'd have a French place and an Italian place and a Spanish place, like all sorts of just different types of food. And some of his restaurants would suffer because he took his eye off the ball. He was spread too thin. We had too much going on. He was sending me to other places to, you know, supervise and oversee. And I'm like, I got my own hands full with my own restaurant. I don't need to be doing this. And, you know, some of the other places suffered because they weren't as tightly managed as they once were, because now he's paying attention to other stuff. And I just hope that wouldn't be the case with AEW and Ring of Honor, and Tony Khan will make sure that Ring of Honor is ran correctly, but without compromising his own shit, you know? Delicate balance. Yeah, and Vince tomorrow on Pat McAfee, don't forget. Good point. By the way, if you do want to do thumbs up smashing, do that for me. And if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, I'm up here every Wednesday watching these Dynamites, so we can chat, watch wrestling together every Wednesday. If you'd like to be a part of that, join us. I think this Saturday we'll do podcast, and we'll knock out Revolution predictions as well during that. And then we'll be up here after Revolution on Sunday for a full review. That's the plan this week. Yeah, it'll be interesting, you know, 'cause there's only so many Vinces in the world. I always felt like Vince McMahon wore too many hats, and he could wear less hats if he wanted to, but he's such a fucking psycho. You know, I just think that Tony Khan is doing well with AEW. I've liked their progress. I've liked the way the roster has grown. I like the vibe and feel of the shows and pay-per-views, and the overall just feel of the promotion I really like, and I don't want that messed with. So, you know, if they're bringing on new promotions and new talent and new ventures, great. Just make sure you bring on staff to handle it, to where, like I said, you don't take your eye off the ball, because that's when you start striking out. Oh, yeah, I can believe Vince having a match at WrestleMania. Totally. He can do it. He's fine. He's been working on this Springboard 450. Wait until you see it. He's also got this top rope Poison Rana that apparently he's going to use as a finisher. So when he hits that at WrestleMania, I think fans will shut up about how old he is, because the dude is, you know, he's still a cruiserweight in my mind. He shoots down to Mexico City, you know, twice a month to train down there. You know, with a lot of the extended family members of the Guerreros and a lot of the classic luchadors down there training Vince how to work that style. And he's been getting better and better. So you wait until WrestleMania. He's gonna be Vince Mysterio Jr. out there. You wait. All the critics will cease at that point. Who is in there? Who is drop kicking with Billy? Is that Peter Avalon? Is he still in the cover? I can't even tell who the fuck he is. Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm like, who's the little guy in the blue? Oh, it's Nemeth and Avalon. I didn't even see them together. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, toss them out. I liked Edge's heel turn Monday. Some people said they felt like it was forced, maybe, but I don't give a shit. These are two pros, AJ Styles and Edge. No wrestling fan has any business critiquing two professionals like that on how to do their fucking job, if you ask me. But that's the way WWE does things sometimes for WrestleMania. Didn't Triple H and Undertaker set up their match just by coming out, staring at each other, and looking at the sign? That's just as lazy as this in my mind. So at least they kind of turned us, because I was under the impression that Edge would be, mostly babyface, AJ would be a heel, and we just get that classic match with, two legends. But they took a turn, and they've made it different and something they weren't expecting to see, kind of like MJF and CM Punk a little bit. And it's added a new dynamic to where, at this point, I kind of feel like, at least based on what we've seen now, is that Edge is going to put AJ over at WrestleMania. So him working heel and being an asshole and concertoing and splattering poor AJ's brains all over the ring should make it more satisfying when he takes a phenomenal forearm 6 inches down his fucking throat at WrestleMania and gets beat. So I'm fine with it. I'm looking forward to the match. It should be fun. And that's just a match for a guy like me. It's just perfect for WrestleMania. I'm glad that one is there. Sometimes I can never tell if it's actually Danhausen in the crowd or just a Danhausen picture. Ass boys are gone. Edge from Monday is the true Edge we grew up with. I don't know, not me. I didn't grow up with Edge at all. And when I did, and when Edge came in, he was very different than the concerto, brain-splattering psycho that he was on Monday. That seemed to be the case after, he won his first world title, became the Rated R superstar, did the stuff with Orton. Then he got that edge to him. Brock Anderson looked like he just had a delicious meal at the Cracker Barrel. He looks exactly like fucking Arn, just with a little more hair. It's uncanny. Yeah, they changed up Ciampa's music last night, too. Of course they did. Because why would you want to keep anything that's even remotely over if you're WWE? Whatever we like, they want to make sure they ruin it. They do a real good job at that. WWE's excellent at fucking shit up. They're the best. They're the champions. They're the all-time best. The greatest ever. Everybody's been trying to tear Ten's mask off. It makes me feel like he's going to be unmasked soon. I wish that, Shivani is there. I wish that they would recreate kind of like, they already do the control room stuff, like on YouTube or something, but if back in that old NWA set, that podium set that they had, that I don't know, that light gray, you know what I'm talking about, where Shivani or whoever would interview Road Warriors or Four Horsemen, bring something like that back as an old school piece off to the side and do interviews there. It might be fun, just for old school. Who's next? There's a lot of teams in this. Oh, good. 2.0. Okay, I didn't even really pay attention to Ciampa's music. It just kind of had that generic vibe like every theme in WWE these days tends to have. But if Ciampa likes it, and it's something important to him, then I will get behind it 100%. I feel like WWE might have told him to say that. But yeah, anything that a performer chooses or is important to them, then of course I'll be 100% behind it. But WWE, we've been under the impression they've been changing all those old CFO themes to get rid of them, and just making everything extremely generic sounding. There goes Brock. Yeah, with Cody gone, what does Arn do? Well, he manages his boy, I guess. That Cody leaving might actually result into more TV time for Brock. Who knows? There goes Bowens, excuse me. Oh, well, I think that's convenient. No one will survive is not a great message to send in current times. Totally. It's like when WWE changed the Armageddon pay-per-view name right after 9/11. I get it. I think that's a happy coincidence, though. And it just works out. But this is all just me speculating. I could be completely wrong. Feels like to me he's sticking up for WWE doing that for some reason. Up there's Danhausen. That's the real Danhausen. Another curse. Yeah, you don't want to be cursing Evil Uno. This isn't actually an interesting pairing here. And he's out. Uno's out. I like Danhausen's wearing that like old man jacket. It's kind of funny. Yeah, we got 5 guys on the apron, 4 guys on the apron. So what the hell happens here? Is there a trios match? Is that what they're doing? Or no, I'm sorry, a triple threat or a 3-way or some shit. What the fuck is going on here? The winner of this gets inserted into some title match, right? What title match is that? I have no idea what I'm watching. If this is WWE, Michael Cole would be explaining to us 78 times through the match what the winner gets. Damn. Santana and Ortiz out. Ooh, Trent. Trent going for the big bump. Shitty looking clothesline and elimination. Ah, man. I didn't like that. I'll tell you what, whatever they do with Wardlow is going to be in action tonight. Whatever they do with him, I hope he's able to beat the hell out of Shawn Spears before he turns back heel or something like that. Yeah, you could go back to the 80s and have all the Russian wrestlers heels. Bring in Nikita Koloff and Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev and Nikolai Volkov and Boris Zukov and all the fucking guys they had. It's different times, though. That wouldn't get over. I mean, Vince would think it would. But back in those days before internet and, you know, such limited everything, it was way easier to get crowd heat and stuff like that. But God, look at Dante. Jesus. Oh, somebody is under the ring. Did you see that set of shoes when those guys went out? Did Danhausen go back under there? There was a set of feet. But I don't know what's going on there. Oh, who's coming? Oh, O'Reilly and Fish. That's right. They won it last week, right? Harwood's out. So it's the Bucks and... Is that Dante or his brother? That's his brother. Okay. Which one of those actually Russian? I think Boris was, and I think Nikolai was Lithuania, I think. I used to live in the same town as Ivan Koloff. Everybody knew him. It was a small town. Greenville was a small town, so like he'd be seen around. He was active in his like church and his community, and super nice guy. Me and my friends did some yard work for him once when we were kids. We tried to start up like a lawn mowing business. And we did it for a little while, but quickly realized we sucked at it. Yeah, I saw Bully Ray on the Broken Skull Sessions. That one surprised me. Not that it won't be good, but who asked for that? It was kind of a strange guess to me. It's like a lot of other guys I'd pick first before Bully Ray. But Bully Ray will have interesting stories. He's just so overly opinionated. He drives me nuts. But his stories and his path is definitely interesting. And I'm sure they'll talk about interesting shit. but it's hard to listen to Bully Ray tell a story without him offering his really, intense opinions on whatever the fuck he's talking about. Oh, there goes Nick into Cutler. No way. No way. He is not going to beat Matt. Nice. Come on. Darius, you better hang on. Yep, he hangs on. I mean, it's got to be Matt here knocking off Darius, right? No, Willow, North Carolina. Way smaller. Greenville, South Carolina is a much bigger town than Greenville, North Carolina. Greenville, North Carolina is where I went to fucking high school, and East Carolina University is there. Big low blow to Darius. I don't know, man. If the rumors are true, you might have to hit him with 2 of those. Ooh. Oh. That was a good finish, though. He kicked him right in the face. Good bump by Darius. So now they're in it with O'Reilly and Fish. So is this a 3-way dance with Jungle and Lucha and these 2 teams? Oh, yeah, Croatian. You're probably right, Michael. Somebody else is from Lithuania. Oh, I'm thinking of, what's his name? He's dead. Looks like Brock Lesnar. Ludwig Borga. That's who I'm thinking of. I do sometimes wonder about a couple people in NWA if they would have been with Vince. Nikita is one of them. Nikita and I think Magnum TA, to me, both embodied what Vince would want. With Nikita, I think Vince would probably make him heel, and Magnum he'd make babyface, obviously. Magnum he'd make like Hogan. Nikita, I don't know if he'd do the Russian thing with him. He might, but he'd definitely do some sort of monster gimmick with him, for sure. Yeah, Willow, Greenville, the Memorial Auditorium and the Bilo Center. So Greenville, South Carolina is where they did that Raw. I guess it was like 03. And the main event was Triple H against Ric Flair. It was like they just started Evolution, but then they did this whole deal where, Ric Flair actually wants a shot at the title. Triple H gives it to him. They beat him, and then when the show goes off the air, they do this big tribute, kind of like a precursor or an appetizer to what they would do 5 years later when he retired in 2008. And everybody came out to the ring. Triple H put the belt on him. They drank beers. He talked to the crowd because Greenville was a big town for Flair and the Horsemen back in the day. Even in WCW, Greenville is a town where the Horsemen reunited on Nitro that night. So he's got a lot of history there, and it was like practice almost for when Flair would retire. And many people thought that might have actually been a retirement, but he would go on to wrestle for another few years. Oh, thanks for that. I'll check out the post there. Yeah, something's definitely going on there with the Bucks and Red Dragon. It'll implode. Yeah, I think now with the news of Ring of Honor being purchased by Tony Khan, I think that you absolutely need to bring in Cesaro now. Not that I don't think they wouldn't, but that's just a guy I'm not even letting hang around for too long out there. He's 41, man. Come on, get him. Get 5 good years out of him and let him just kick ass. Yeah, Nikita might have been teamed with Nikolai, but I also don't know, though, like when you think about it back in those days, this is assuming WWE picked him up after he'd already been in the NWA as Nikita. So if he was, I think Vince would, I see Vince putting a silly gimmick, not a silly gimmick, but a monster type gimmick. Maybe some face paint and give him a weird name, something like that. I don't think he'd go straight Russian with him, only because he did it in the NWA. He'd change him completely. Because WWE rarely brought in guys from the NWA and kept them exactly who they were. Changed everybody. Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to hear. I thought it was a 6-person or 9-person, 6-person tag. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. Thank you for that, Marcus the Entertainer, and thank you for the $2. Sammy Darby Andrade Friday on Rampage. So I'm assuming that's for the title. That's fun. Sammy beat them both, and now he's going to try to beat them both at the same time? Hi, Jericho.
The entire wrestling world is buzzing over the announcement of Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho this Sunday at Revolution after our promo segment. Well, Eddie, you probably don't know what a promo is, right? After our
Okay, well, after Jericho's done talking, I have a question for you,
congratulations, kid. You're finally
you trivia people.
the star that I always knew you would be. But it's hard for me still to
He's just going to cut a promo on Kingston.
been such a big star for so long, and you
If Jericho finds his way, which I'm sure he will, into a Ring of Honor ring in the future, even if just an appearance, and you add that to the list of promotions he's made appearances in, he's got to have the record. Who's left? Who's worked everywhere Jericho has? I guess the one big one missing is TNA. Didn't think about that. But other than that, he's been everywhere else.
I don't think you do. But if you can beat me, I will look you in the eye, I will shake your hand, and I will tell you you have my undying respect.
Okay.
But if you don't beat me, and you won't, I'm going to look you in the eye, laugh at your pathetic ass, and tell you to GFY.
Oh, don't start the GFY thing again. Uh-oh. Santana and Ortiz are here. Are we friends again or what? Oh. Well, inner circle love there.
We good?
I guess they're good. Jericho and Santana and Ortiz seem to be back on the same page, even though they just got ditched out of that Battle Royal. Jericho says that if Kingston beats him, then he'll shake his hand and tell him he has his undying respect. But if Jericho beats him, then he'll laugh at his stupid ass. That's the stipulation they're throwing in to the Kingston-Jericho match. Simple enough. It's not exactly a kiss my ass match, but it's decent. What's up, DJ Scandalous? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, bringing in Cesaro now, you could have him show up, back as Claudio in Ring of Honor, and think of what that would do, especially if you made him the centerpiece, because that's what we have to wait and see. We have to hear about, and some of these reports might be happening right now. I'm just not reading. But once we start learning this week the details of this and what the plans are, and is it going to be a full-blown relaunch of the promotion? Are these two promotions going to merge? Is the talent going to be separated? Are they going to be, interchanging, which I think they probably will, since it's all under one umbrella. If you do try to relaunch Ring of Honor on its own, I think Cesaro's a perfect guy to plop right in the middle of that and say, here's your guy. DJ Scandalous, you're like highlighted in gray. Are you like popular? You must be. Oh, yeah, you are. Sweet. I've heard of you before. How you doing, man? Glad you're here. Nearly 1 million subscribers. Jesus, man. Can you send like 500K my way? Preach. Let me hear what CM Punk's saying here.
I'll say right now, I think what Max did last week, for him to come out here and bare his soul like that on national television, I think that takes courage. And it's courage that, yes, I did not think he had. He spoke about a lot of important...
They're really trying to sell us on this, aren't they?
But I also can't shake the feeling that I'm being gaslit.
Well, yeah, no shit. It's MJF. He's full of shit. Yeah, WrestleVids, what's up, man? Thanks for the $2. We've kind of been talking about that. Double turn.
Everybody here, and especially everybody at home, I don't think Max is lying. I believe those things happened to him. Where my questions lie is in his sincerity, and I must be getting soft in my old age because I just don't know if it matters.
C-Mac, I appreciate that $2 too, dude. Thank you for that.
On the internet, very young with Steve Austin.
Steve Austin, I've heard of him.
And after
He was pretty good, right?
Lesser men framed him as somebody who took his ball and went home. I didn't get mad at the world. I didn't laugh.
Some much lesser men who framed him as taking his ball and going home. Holy shit.
AEW, I've seen Max knock out the legendary Dean Malenko, who's suffering from Parkinson's.
Yeah.
I've listened to Max bury Brian Pillman Jr.'s father, the late, great Brian Pillman, in his hometown. I had to sit in back and watch Max say awful things about Darby Allin's uncle.
All this is true.
Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's one fact that I know is hurt.
Good point, Rodrigo. I guess I didn't see that coming.
When I came here, Max stood in front of me. He introduced himself to me. He stuck his hand out, and I didn't shake his hand. Now, am I to blame for all these horrible things that Max did? Am I Dr. Frankenstein and he's the monster? Listen, I think everybody has to take responsibility for their own actions. But I don't think right now there's anything else that I can say that's going to be more impactful than something that I can do. And in order to do that, I need Max to come out here, and I don't want anybody but Max from last week to come out here, and we can talk. We can have a conversation in front of the world.
What are you going to do? Cancel your match? Let's be like, you know what? Let's just not do it. We're cool. I'm sorry I made you cry when you were in high school. All good. Fist bump, go away, and then tell TK just to put another match on. Yeah, that'll go over well.
Finding his words there, which you really don't hear. I mean, he usually knows what he wants to say.
What I like about this is if they weren't doing all this, we'd have a pretty good idea of like what these promos were going to consist of. Couple shots, couple zingers, great mic work by both guys. But in the end, there's a clear definition of who's who in this angle. And so at least this keeps us on our toes. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Well, he came right out, MJF.
So here's the thing, Max. I've done horrible things in my life. I used to be you. So full of hate. But listen, man, I poured alcohol down an alcoholic's throat. I covered a legendary wrestler in the ashes of his dead beloved manager.
That's true. He did that too.
A wrestler's addiction until he lost his job because of it. And
Damn.
I can tell you right now that all that hate, it's not just going to keep you warm.
Damn, that was rough. I forgot about that. Jeff Hardy is coming in. Punk and Jeff Hardy, I don't think, are on wonderful terms.
Isn't just given, it's earned. And right now, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than you. This is bigger than wrestling. This right here is about that 11-year-old kid who's at home watching right now, and he looks up to you the same way you looked up to me.
I mean, if Max is playing Punk for a fool, he's supremely confident that Punk's going to be falling for this.
And I might be wrong, but I woke up this morning and I splashed water in my face and I looked at myself in the mirror and I asked myself a question. I said, are you the good guy? And I finally had an answer. And that answer is, I sure am trying.
Oh, now MJF's going to shake his hand. Like, you guys have a match Sunday, so... I mean, this is top of the hour stuff. They could go for an attack or a swerve right here, but I'd wait till Revolution. Otherwise, you just took a 1-week detour and didn't see it through, and it could be good. Oh. A hug? Yeah, I've been to Beverly Hills. I have a house up there. This is my second house.
Think about MJF as a young kid looking up to
How this touches my heart.
all those years of
I hope they're saying to each other, we got him. We got him. We've got them.
pointing in the heart of MJF.
Don't wipe your boogers on a shirt, man. Both of y'all are wearing white. Are we going to get a low blow? Well, yes, we are. They did it here. I thought they were going to go further with this. It almost, JR goes, it feels like you might be premeditated. I was thinking, big pile driver. I was thinking that MJF would, he's got the shirt on him. I was thinking MJF would low blow him and Punk would be wearing a cup. Because, you got it, Punk kind of looks like a punk, no pun intended, for falling for this. How you going to fall for that? Oh, Jesus. And he's got the ring. Brandon, you have returned, Life of Brandon. Well, good. Next time you leave us a note and let us know where you're going. And if you're going to Wendy's, grab me some McNuggets. Oh, diamond to the head. I don't know how I feel about this. I like it, but I thought that twist they started last week caused enough intrigue and buzz that they could have ran with this through into Revolution and make us wonder during the match, are we going to get a turn, a double turn? Where's the swerve? When's it going to happen? They just did it here. Well, I guess just to get as much heat for the match as possible. Which, in a lot of ways, that's better because it's going to make the match more brutal and a lot more violent, I'm sure, than if it's two guys who Punk is always busted open, assuming that it's, MJF is going to work like a babyface. A deep laceration is right. He is bleeding his ass off. Punk's selling it great. I love the eyes open. Ooh. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. This is vicious. I don't know what, pre-WWE days perhaps, but I've never seen Punk getting the shit kicked out of him like this before. And this is oh my God, they're going to hang him like fucking superstar Billy Graham in the bull rope match. First ever wrestling memory I've ever had is what they're recreating here almost.
I'm a snake. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled
Oh, wow.
was convincing the world he doesn't exist.
Ah, it's a line from Usual Suspects, Kaiser Soze.
At Revolution, I'm gonna show you and all these mindless sheep that I am the devil himself.
Well, that's good. Okay, so if I were to say something like, I liked this better than Edge and AJ on Raw, is that a statement you agree with? Man. Poor Punk. So that's right. That's why they bust out the dog collar. I forgot it was a dog collar match. I completely fucking forgot. That's right. They kind of put that on the back burner there while this whole I love you man shit was going on. That's right. It's a dog collar match. That's right. Be My Valentine. I forgot all about that. Piper in Portland. Holy crap. Yeah. Crazy. Sting is like, you guys run, I'll walk. Yeah, I'll be chilling. They did top last week. I got to hand it to them. I was torn on it at first because I was so intrigued by what they could possibly do. I wasn't ready for it to be paid off yet. But, that was something that Punk fell for and paid dearly for it, which should fuel an awful lot of fucking rage in that guy come Sunday. So I think that will make the dog collar match rival or perhaps even best what Valentine and Piper did. Because that was gnarly. I mean, that match injured Punk. Piper came into the WWE still injured from the dog collar match. He couldn't even work for his first few months there because he was one cleared or whatever, some eardrum shit. Yeah, Edge and AJ just started, but I'm talking about like the surprise they tried to throw at you in the segment, you know, because I just expected Edge to cut a big promo and then AJ to cut a big promo back and say, yeah, you've done a lot of great things, but you mean you've never wrestled at WrestleMania? You know, we never came across each other on this beautiful flat earth that we live on. And I just thought it would be that. So the fact that Edge went nuts, you know, and splattered poor AJ, I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So that makes it more interesting. The same thing here. You know, Punk and MJF was a dream match. We knew we would get good promos, but what's in those promos? I mean, you can just listen to guys deliver their lines well, which is what both do, or you can really make these words mean something and take us on a ride, which I think is what they did. And they did a great job in the last 2 weeks to really up the heat in this. Bianca and Becky, I think, did a good job of maybe making their match a little bit more serious now with the hair thing, and that thing might be chopped off here in the next few weeks. And with Punk and MJF, dog collar match, now you have a real reason to fuck them up, you know? So, and MJF has gotten most of these segments over on Punk. I think Punk's got to win now. He beat him in that match, like, what, twice? And then they did the segment where he sat on him, you know, and then they did this. Like, most of these segments, when they're both in the ring, it's CM Punk getting the worst of it. So I think maybe on Sunday, it's going to be a GTS to old MJF. Oh, Big Keith.
Keith Lee was qualified for the Face of the Revolution ladder match coming up on Sunday. But before then, on Rampage Live on Friday, you have a tune-up match.
Greetings and salutations. Enough of this. That's twice you've interrupted me, and if there's a
Yeah.
starts, there will be none of you left to interrupt.
Good for Keith Lee to say, fuck off, dude.
I'm just here to let you know
I mean, I like Hobbs' overalls, but you can't be talking to me like that. Oh, Jesus. Hobbs and Keith Lee?
I just want to give you a
Yikes.
warning. If you show up on Rampage,
I like Keith Lee better.
you may not make it to Revolution. And I'm just trying to be a good brother and give you the heads up, all right? So, I'll see you when I see you.
And I will be there.
Okay. Good little entry level starting place for Keith Lee. Fuck up that little guy at some point. Oh, okay. Britt Baker's coming out. No arguments. No complaints, I mean. Yeah, MJF is a top-tier heel, all right, and I guess that answers the question of any sort of double turn or babyface run for him coming. A babyface run for MJF will absolutely 1,000,000,000% happen, but doesn't look like it's going to happen for a while, and that's fine because he's awesome. He is a great, great heel. So some Mercedes and Rosa against these two? Would have helped if I checked out a match listing for today. I was busy all day, though. Yeah, X-Pac did some stuff with Matt Cardona. I saw that whole deal. That GCW stuff looks fun. I've checked a little bit of it out. They're here a lot in California. I can go up to LA and go to a show if I wanted. I just don't know if I care that much. My outlook for Omos, I think he's got a chance if they resurrect the Yeti gimmick and have him do that. Yeah, I am a little worried about Rosa and Baker being able to follow that bonkers-ass match they had last year.
Remember, it was just over 2 months ago when Dr. Britt Baker, we would find out, put that bounty on Thunder Rosa in the TBS Championship Tournament. Britt Baker was worried about Thunder Rosa eclipsing her as the face of the women's division here in All Elite Wrestling.
Oof.
Notice that Thunder Rosa and her partner are wearing
The Yeti. I mean, he can't be any worse, right? Ron Reese, though, he was okay. I think he was the Yeti, right? I know he did some top rope shit, so he's probably a touch better than Omos. But he certainly has the size. I mean, I really think Omos would be... I mean, it's hard. You can't just do that forever. It's like when Kevin Nash came in. You can only be Diesel for so long. You're going to have to get in the ring. But I almost think he would be better just never wrestling and just backing somebody up. And we would always wonder how good he was, you know. People would rarely get anything over on him. He would always be extremely scary. Just book him that way. He'd really help make somebody unbeatable. I'd like to see X-Pac come in and have a match in AEW. Sure, for fun. Just for fun. Ooh. I don't know, though. I guess he doesn't. I guess he doesn't have any Legends WWE deal. Which match are you talking about, James? Baker and Thunder Rosa? Or are you talking about MJF and Punk going first?
Happiness comes in pairs. Every day at Rent Center, save 20% or more on your rental rate when you bundle 2 items like
Modern day Zeus. I don't know. He's way too big. I think of him as a modern day somebody else other than Zeus, just because he's so big. I mean, Zeus was big, but I think of him as like the Yeti or Giant Gonzalez or somebody like that, just because of his just ridiculous size. Even the Giant, you know, to a degree, but I think he was even bigger than Paul White, you know, in terms of just his height. I don't think he'd make a good looking, like if he replaced Zeus in the No Holds Barred movie, it would look fucking, you'd be seeing the lights to the set because he'd be so damn tall. Zeus had Tiny Lister had such a look to him. He just looked like a freak. He was just jacked, that fucking cross-eye. Oh my God, he was fantastic. And for me, who was, God, I don't know, 12 or something, he was a scary motherfucker. I was legitimately afraid for Hulk Hogan. I didn't understand at age 12, you know, what being able to work could. Well, I guess I did. I was already Team Bret Hart by that point. So I understood exciting matches and stuff, but in terms of overall mechanics, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to that at age 12. So it didn't matter to me that Zeus couldn't wrestle his way out of a paper bag. It was how he looked. And he looked awesome. Poor guy. He wasn't a wrestler. He was an actor. So you're chucking him in the ring, say, do your best. I think he did his best. Oh, I forgot about her. What's her name? She used to be on the E! Show all the time. Like in a bikini all the time, like in the 90s. Brooke something. She's in a tennis shoe commercial. I forgot she existed. Crazy. I found out recently, another girl that I forgot existed, I used to love in the 90s, Daisy Fuentes, is married to Richard Marx. Did not see that coming. That's awesome. I don't think Buck Zumoff is going to be in anything. I'm hoping that a big, giant, muscular guy is going to be in Buck Zumoff in jail, where he belongs. Oh, yeah, Zeus was in Friday. He was also in Jackie Brown. Across 110th Street, pimps trying to catch a woman that's weak. Oh, Hook's working Friday? Maybe. I hope so. It's the only reason I watch Rampage is for Hook.
AEW Dynamite back live here on TBS. I'm Excalibur, joined by Tony Schiavone and JR. And Mercedes Martinez just made the tag and has taken out Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. Champ took a nasty spill on that one. Mercedes Martinez trying for that power.
No, not Brooke Shields. She's not super famous. Brooke something. She's like a fitness model or something. She was always on E. She was like a Cindy Margolis type of person. Yeah, I'm right about that, right? He was one of the bondsmen at the bondsman place. I wouldn't want him coming looking for me if I jump bail. Luckily, I'll never be in a position to jump bail, but if I did, I wouldn't want him showing up here. I'm like, can I at least get a bottle of water first before you drag me out of here and hurt me? Brooke Burke. Brooke Burke. I think that's right. I'm not sure if that's the right spelling, but I think that's right. Brooke Burke. Yeah. That's definitely it. Thank you. I knew somebody would know it. Like, she used to be on TV all the time. I'd say about like 20 years ago or something is when I remember seeing her like everywhere. All right, we got Rosa and Mercedes. Or no, Rosa and Baker, excuse me. Oof. Big slap to Britt Baker. I like her blood. It kind of resembles a little bit of Scott Hall. My girlfriend actually told me today about Scott Hall breaking his hip. I didn't even know about that. So shout out and love to Scott Hall, man. Ooh, nice. Britt escaped out of that, but now she looks like she's in something worse. Nope, another escape. TBD. Oh, Evan, you want to see a match between Hook and Matt Riddle? Well, I think that's kind of rude. I mean, Riddle is young, and he's got such a long career ahead of him in WWE, and I think it's kind of shitty of you to want to see him in a match with Hook when you know Hook will break all of his limbs, and his WWE career will be over, and we won't get to enjoy him anymore. So you're an asshole, Evan. I don't know why you think that way. People have got to be so mean-spirited. Ugh, so mean-spirited. I won't block you, but I'm thinking about it. Yikes. She's going to pin the champ, ain't she? Again, yeah. Great. So the only thing that sucks about this is what the assholes are going to think, because this is the way they think, is that what we just saw right here, is the exact same thing as WWE pinning champions 6-7 times per week. That's what they're going to make of this. But it's not. I wouldn't have preferred Britt being pinned there, but this is not something that AEW usually makes a habit of. So when they do it, I ain't too worried about it. Ty Conti. She got a new blue belt, they said? Oh, bitch, shut up before I kick you in the face again. Jay did not say that. All right, we're going to get Sammy's cue cards. Rat in the kitchen. Jesus, these shows. Man, I'm seeing some of these pictures now online of CM Punk. Jesus. Man, he might be a little patched up come Sunday. It's going to be real easy to reopen that. It's probably why they did this. Oh, I'm so mad I was flapping my gums during the "You're less popular than Glenn Jacobs" tweet. rap by Max Caster. Hated that I missed that.
It's your budget.
Tom, I'm gonna buy more stuff.
For surprising great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Batman can fight crime, but only you can bring home the Batman calzone from Little Caesars with pizza and calzone crust.
Oh, I didn't even, I wasn't reading Sammy's cards. The inner circle didn't fight my battles. Okay. Do I like Olive Garden? Not really. It's not a place I'd really go to. But I would not, it's not like I'd not eat the food. If I was sitting in there, I would order something and I'd eat the shit out of it. But it's not any place that I'm usually making a special trip to. See, I'm all out of context on Sammy's cards here because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Oh, enough of these Kinder Buenos. I'll be right back. I'm going to make a little pit stop. All right.
For a noticeably smooth shave, Dollar Shave Club.
Crispy fish, that spicy kick. Two of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meats. I don't think I can do this. You said you wanted to feel the power of chicken fried cheese. I thought you meant like live streaming. Oh, well, live streaming, all right. Let's roll. You're on cricket.
In the great storm of 1781, John Jameson lost the barrel of his beloved smooth-tasting whiskey. Why did he go in after it? Taste. That's why.
All right. I'm back.
You call yourself
Oh, just in time for Chris Statlander. Perfect.
a legit athlete, but know how to take a loss. Learn
Thank you for waiting. Sorry for the delay.
all you've done is blame me for winning. Stan, you said that my parents had a reason for giving me up for adoption. This is why I
Oh, I've never heard Layla speak before.
when I mean it with
I didn't expect her to sound that way. Interesting voice.
being. Why am I doing this?
She sounds like she could be fiery.
She said what she said. You want to talk about struggles? I'll give you something to struggle about. You're about to see
I'll give you something to struggle about.
calendar that nobody's
Does your mother sew? Get her to sew that.
done talking. I'm gonna let my actions speak louder than your words.
Oh, first trios champions. House of Black or Undisputed Era? I don't know. Undisputed. All right, here comes Wardlow. He looks like he's in a murdering mood. It's always good. $44-7. I remember being impressed with him when he had that cage match with Cody. I was like, holy shit, he's way better than I expected him to be. Because all this time we just saw him looking awesome in the background in a suit or whatever. I'm like, yeah, he's a big, jacked, great-looking guy, but, you know, a lot of times that means you ain't shit in the ring, and he's the opposite of that. He's very good. Good to see Cesar Bononi in there. Look how big he is, too. Jesus. Yes, I mean, I knew that he wasn't a small guy. I didn't realize he was bigger than Wardlow. He's fucking bigger than Wardlow. It's nuts. This is kind of like what we saw on Monday. It was Omos and T-Bar, right? Except T-Bar's not bigger than Omos, but he still, you know, smashed a big guy. God. How long was Cesar Bononi and NXT? I think I might only saw one match. Goodbye. Jeez. You know, the little guy winning the ladder match sure does make the most sense. I mean, I would be happy if I was a little guy. I mean, I'd be a little bit scared. Look at Spears trying to be a dick. But I know I could outrun those fuckers, and if I could just get them all beaten up on themselves, I can just pick up the ladder and scurry up there and snag the title quickly. That's what I'd do. Yeah, Spears. He's like, okay. Look, they're okay. Come on, let's go have a blueberry muffin together. Everything's fine. Or it's fine. Please don't murder me. Mike, I didn't notice that. I wasn't even paying attention to where Wardlow was. I guess I did see him come out there, but I wasn't really watching him. So, yeah, he kind of sat back. And that's another thing that I think could make a lot of sense storyline-wise, is that CM Punk, in his promo, described how he saw and witnessed MJF do all these dastardly things. So that means he's been watching MJF. Punk's been monitoring him. So if he's seen everything MJF has done, then he has also seen how MJF has treated Wardlow. And since MJF has pulled this little fucking stunt, you know, maybe in kayfabe, CM Punk approaches Wardlow and like, look, aren't you tired of this piece of shit? Aren't you tired of this guy doing what he's doing? You know, and make him an offer. Why don't you turn on this fucker and help me win, and I'll see to it that, you know, you're not going to suffer any consequences due to the contract, or maybe I know a lawyer or anything that can kind of help you out, and something like that. Oh, we're good. I was like, tell me the internet did not go down, but I think we're good. I think we're good. I've lost Dynamite. Let me re-find it. Luckily, it's commercial. There we go. Can you guys see me? We're good. Okay. We're good. Anyway, so I was saying, I don't know when I got cut off, but I was talking about the Wardlow stuff. If he turns, you know, on the following Dynamite, CM Punk could reveal that after MJF did all that shit to him and suckered him in and busted him open and worked him over and hung him from the top rope, he decided to approach Wardlow and said, hey, I've been seeing the way MJF's treated you. You know, why don't you come with me and help me bury this little prick, and I'll see to it that you're protected in terms of what he can do to you because of that contract, or I don't know, something like that. And that might be a fun reveal, but the Wardlow turn's got to come somewhere, and if he did not participate much in that CM Punk beatdown, that could be evidence that it could be happening on Sunday, and that's good. So... yeah, I briefly just paused. OBS told me that we lost our connection, but we immediately reconnected, and we seem fine every now and then. Those of you who stream with me all the time, you know it's pretty rare. What's our average on this? 10, 15% of the time we might run into something. I did have one watch-along a couple months ago that got completely wiped out, but that's the only time anything catastrophic has happened. Money on Andrade to win on Friday. You know what? I'm down with that because there's a lot of people that felt, myself included, that he probably shouldn't have lost that match last week. So if that's just to set up his win here, then good. Then it makes it easier. Yeah, but I'll keep an eye on this here to make sure, because a lot of times I don't have everything right in front of me. All right. Otherwise, if you are new to the channel here, we got our act together here. We got pretty good stuff. We got good equipment. We're usually got strong connections, and we have very few technical difficulties unless it's my own stupidity causing it. But other than that, computer strong, internet strong. And we usually do not disappoint over here. Yeah, I'm liking the idea of Andrade picking up the title on Friday. Hell yeah. I've loved Sammy's run, but the TNT title isn't a belt that like really sticks around people for very long. It does get passed around quite frequently. I think Sammy not only has had a healthy run so far, but has beat quality opponents. Super quality opponents. That fucking match with Cody, Jesus, man. So you drop it now, I'm cool with that. Oh, here's Malachi with some creepy shit to tell us.
Wasn't it the house? Give you new means to find new levels of violence.
Part of the human condition
Brody King looks like
chooses to show.
he owns a pawn shop.
The house has embraced and enforced as you sit back and cast judgment. But one thing everyone
What's up, buddy?
that everyone is to receive. We don't cast judgment. We seek
Now think of these three exact guys doing the exact same thing in WWE. I think most of us would like it because they're like, oh, wow, it's good use. They're putting them together. This should be good. You know, I think most people would like it because it's something better than what the fuck they were doing. So Buddy Murphy was just flat out Buddy Murphy. You know, he had no direction or character at all other than he's just a good worker. They tried to do that Aaliyah shit, which was stupid. You know, factions sprout talent. You know, it's always good to have those. Oh, look at that. Let's see what they set up.
If you beat the TNT champion, I'll let you keep the title, man. Right? Besides, it's not like you're gonna win it anyway.
It's because I'm too busy making sure you're always winning.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yo, you gonna be slapping Wardlow now?
You aren't a professional wrestler.
You should die. He should be dead. He should be dead. The cops should be called. You need like a mop to scoop, to wipe the blood up. Why is he not dead?
We'll be out on the street.
I can't believe he took that shit. He took a fucking slap from MJF. And then MJF's like, hey, if you win that TNT title, I'll let you keep it. Not that you're going to win it anyway. So they're setting, how can you get slapped like that? How do you not turn heel on Sunday? I'm to the point now where I've liked him dragging out Wardlow's heel turn, or not heel turn, but turn on MJF. I've liked how they've dragged it on, but you can't go any further than Sunday now. He's going to look like a fucking chump if we get 1 week from tonight and this fucker's still at the side of MJF. It's time for MJF to die. I don't know what this match is either. Cole against somebody. I know it's everybody. Oh, yeah, this is the main event. So it's Jurassic and who else? Is it Jurassic and Christian? The boom is awesome. I think I really like Danielson and Cole's themes in AEW. Danielson's I like kind of better than his WWE one, but I think I prefer Undisputed's just a hair to this theme song. Oh, yeah, Paige is in this. The fuck am I? I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me, guys. It's Paige. And I'm assuming the champs, but maybe not. I don't know what's happening. Oh, Dark Order and Adam Page. Okay, yeah, just unsubscribe. I came up and did the stream tonight without checking the card lineup. So all these matches I'm just going into blind. I have no idea what I'm about to see. So I'm like, oh, this must be Jurassic Express. And then Christian, and out comes Page. Oh, maybe it's Page in Jurassic Express. I'm like, no, it's Dark Order, you idiot. Oh, my God. Why do you guys even watch this? Oh, this ought to be good. John Silver's my favorite. Even Bryce has got an inch on John, I think.
Tony, we kicked off our broadcast with a huge announcement from Tony Khan. The purchase of Ring of Honor. That was a shocker to me.
That's big, man. I really, truly hope that one day Tony Khan can have something financially to do with Impact or TNA and that incredible library of footage that they have. It would be a great way to really build your company quickly in terms of streaming options and content you can produce to your audience. Like, man, that would cast a wide net there on anything non-WWE of the 2000s, and that's pretty good. Oh, tag. Bobby Fish sticks. Should be like Bobby Fish versus Adam Steak versus Johnny Chicken. Oof. No, not a frequent diner of Applebee's either, even though I have one really close to me. If I'm on the road or if I'm in a hotel and that's what's next to me, then sure, I'll go in there and eat a burger or whatever. But just like, you know, the other one you asked me about, not usually a place I seek out. I've been in restaurants my whole life, so I have a different view on food most of the time. I eat a lot of crap, but I also cook a lot and stuff, so. Punk, I'm glad. Well, Punk, hopefully he didn't cut too deep, but Punk probably wanted to make it a substantial cut in order to open it up on Sunday. So I don't think he was going to give himself a little baby one. You want to bleed hard. That way, you know, you won't be completely healed in 5 days. So MJF potatoes him with one good shot there to the forehead, and that thing's going to be flowing. Which sucks because opening up the second time hurts. I've opened up stitches before. Oh my God, it gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. Yeah, the Tony Khan Ring of Honor AEW stuff is going to open up a ton of doors too, and it's going to really change what they have access to, and you know, the talent and the streaming stuff. And you know, I have no idea what Tony Khan's internal plan is, but like I said, if his plan is to expand it all, I think he really should try to get tape libraries, you know. I mean, I think technically if there was a way to do it, he could buy Impact too, man, but I don't know if we necessarily need that, where now you got one guy owning 3 or 4 promotions, but it could be fun for talent trading purposes, and it would sure make shit a lot easier when it's your own stuff and you don't have to worry about tampering and contracts or anything like that. You just do whatever you want. So, but then it also makes it less special, you know, when WWE bought out WCW, you know, even though they had WCW talent on WWE programming, as crazy as that was, it wasn't that crazy because now they worked for the company. It would have been crazier if this was happening before the buyout. So as cool as it was to see DDP and some WCW guys in a WWE ring, even the next year when the NWO came in, it wasn't as nuts because it was all owned by, you know, everybody was coming in and working legit. So it wouldn't feel like an invasion, you know what I mean now? Like if Ring of Honor guys show up in AEW and attack everybody, because they have the same boss as those guys. I don't know, it just takes away from it. But either way, this makes Ring of Honor survive, and it keeps it around, and it now trades ownerships to a guy that, at least so far, I feel like we can count on in terms of investing what it needs. Maybe even restore what it used to have. Bring back some of that old fan base that might not be as around as they used to be. but still have great memories of the show. You know, those ECW fans didn't go anywhere. WWE ran that one-night stand shit in 2005. How great that did. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. I think Ring of Honor has a lot of that same type of audience passion. Jesus. Glad we're getting to see Cole and Paige work a bit here. This is cool. He's going for the last shot already. He misses. That's going to be a fun match. I'm excited for Paige and Cole. I mean, I think that's going to be like an NXT main event quality match, you know, an NXT black and gold back in the day. It's going to kind of have that feel. Yeah, especially, Gresham and Bryan, especially if Bryan heads over there and does something. He's got to. Him and Punk have at least got to make appearances. That's why I don't think there's any way there would be a way to keep the talent completely separate and exclusive to those specific brands. I think you're going to see a lot of Ring of Honor guys that help make Ring of Honor so great that are currently in AEW right now make appearances over there all the time. It's going to be awesome. Well, Victor, we were almost there. I mean, if that buyout would have happened, I'd say 7-8 years earlier, maybe even just 6 years earlier, I think there's a good chance that a huge portion of the audience wouldn't know. Because, hell, by the time Scott Hall jumped to WCW, I knew, but it still wasn't that common that every single fan knew what was going on behind the scenes. There was still a ton of fans that were just watching, and that's it. So that was crazy to them. So, yeah, they just missed that window by a little bit. And if that same purchase would have happened, you know, maybe even earlier than that, you go back to 89, 90, 91, 92, if I would have seen that at that age and see a bunch of WCW guys show up on fucking WWF Superstars on Saturday afternoon one week, I'd shit myself. I'd be like, oh, what's even happening right here? I was confused about Flair when Flair came in. I had no idea what I was looking at. I was like, wait a second, because I wasn't a subscriber to the Observer by that point. I guess I was 15, but I wasn't, other than wrestling magazines, I wasn't that ingrained in the behind the scenes stuff. So I would watch NWA, you know, I'd watch WCW, and I noticed Flair wasn't there anymore, but I never noticed any explanation for that. And then, lo and behold, he's on not only on WWE, but he's there with the championship belt. I had no idea. I was dumbfounded as to what I was looking at. So it's weirder when not every fan can just look on their phone and search something and find out what the hell's going on. Shit was different back then. I live in California, so whenever I feel like even the slightest bit of rattling or anything around the house, I immediately go to Twitter and I just search earthquake, and that's usually how I confirm it. Because if there's a bunch of people going, earthquake, earthquake, and it's all in my area, I'm like, okay, I felt it. I was right. But that's I use Twitter to confirm earthquakes. It's the absolute truth. It's the first place I go. So you can find shit out instantly now, so it would have been weird. It would have hit different, as the kids say. Go Big Show. Is Cody on that? Yeah, it's a little talk about what tomorrow's interview is going to include with Vince, if it's going to be kayfabe or whatever. Apparently it's supposed to be a straight-up interview, but they got to set something up for Mania. And that Netflix documentary, which when that comes out, Jesus, man. So a lot of people say that that's a big reason why this rumor of Vince getting in the ring might not be that crazy, because it's going to make some great material for that documentary. Look how crazy this is. Nearly 80 years old, and he's getting in the ring taking bumps, and just going to add to his legendary status, I suppose. Revolution, the card is looking good. It's going to be a lot of matches that are going to really come through and deliver. I mean, there's a couple of possible weak links. Conti and Cargill, although last time Cargill wrestled, she did great, I think. The ladder match is pretty much set. That's all the participants there, so I'm really kind of rooting for Keith Lee. Jericho and Kingston has a potential to suck, but also has a potential to be better than we expect. And the Tornado Trios this Sunday. That'll be a buffer. Yeah, and Thunder Rosa and Britt, my only fear there is it won't be as good as what it was. And then I know the main event will be sweet, so. I had great seats, Mike, for the Kennel from Hell. The hard cam was pointing it at me. So I guess I was bottom level, and if you're looking at the screen from the hard cam, I would have been up at the top left of the Hell in the Cell cage, like up in the top point, so maybe like 3/4 of the way up the second level, and off to the left a little bit, but not dead center. My point of view was like where you would stand where if you were in a tag team on the corner. Like that was my point of view. But I saw them dogs yapping and heard them. Yeah, I like the face-to-face. Got to get that camera shot. If I was doing a review tonight, that probably would have been my thumbnail with a little Ring of Honor logo in the corner. And here we go. They're all in there now. It's a Donnybrook. Silver, there he goes. Oof. Oh, inside out goes Cole from that lariat. Jesus. And I know we're going to see some sweet lariats. We'll probably see multiple buckshots. He'll survive one, maybe not survive the other. I'm definitely picking Paige to retain. Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot they're outside at this place. I forgot. Ooh. Oh, big super kick to Reynolds. Another one in the back of the head. He's going for the last shot now. Oh, and he's got it. Well, there's time for a save here, but it looks like it's over. All right. All right. Well, I think they, unless they go in a different direction, I feel like they made a couple of matches obvious tonight. I didn't really question them anyway. I feel like Britt is going to retain, and I feel like Paige is going to retain. Now he's going to continue unless Paige gets one over on him here. But yeah, I think Hangman's run will go a bit longer. Cole will have his day with the title, but I don't think yet. Oh, he's fighting him off. There's more Dark Order members. Why don't y'all get out there? There's like 20 of you. Sonny, that's a bold prediction there, my man. This guy actually thinks so confidently that he'll put it in the chat that Adam is going to win. Are you sure? Think it through, Sonny. Don't just be throwing out nonsense statements like that. You got to back up those words. What makes you think that? Why do you think Adam's going to win? Is it because you think he's better than Adam? If you really think Adam's better than Adam, then I agree that Adam will win. But you got to own up to it, and you got to really think it through before you. Oh, they're going to tie him up too. Jesus, there's a lot. CM Punk got hung from the rope. Paige is getting low-key crucified. He can break out of that. Remember in Pineapple Express, they duct tape up Danny McBride, and he's like, I'm going to flex out of it. He can't get out. Silver came, but Silver's... Oh. High low to Silver. Oh, we're going to get a sunrise to fucking Reynolds. Dark Order. Are you guys... What's going on? Like, do you think they're back there just eating like El Pollo Loco and they don't know what's going on? Oh. Yeah. Paige retains on Sunday. Pretty obvious for me. It has been a big week for heels, Willow. You're not wrong. No class. Yeah, I could see that. Cole accidentally losing due to the Bucks fucking up. Yeah, if I haven't been keeping an eye on Jeff Hardy's no compete day count, but if we're up there and he's set to go, he could show up on Sunday. Cesaro can show up anytime, and yeah, everybody can. So that's great. All right, that is another AEW Dynamite in the books. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me on a Wednesday night. So the plan here, I guess, is we're going to be up here on Saturday. We'll try to do like a regular Winged Eagle. It might be a kind of a Cliff's Notes version, maybe a little limited on the SmackDown stuff, and we'll concentrate more on Revolution, maybe just run through the Rampage results. We'll talk about wrestling news, and we'll predict the entire Revolution card. And then on Sunday, immediately following Revolution, we'll be up here on YouTube reviewing the whole show and hanging out. So make sure you subscribe. I'll have links to both of these episodes coming up here within the next day or so. So keep a lookout on the channel. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Hope you guys come back again. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I will catch you on Saturday for predictions. Y'all be good. Peace.